Okay. 2, 3. Name of this video, I think, is going to be whose side are you on? Because everybody wants us to choose a side, you know. Have you heard about what's going on in Ukraine? Russia invading Ukraine. Wait a minute. That was last week's war. Sorry. Everybody's wanting you to choose between Israel and Palestine / Hamas. So you got, like, you know, your politicians and your evangelical preachers and stuff want you to be on Israel's side, and you got students, and I guess they're calling them left wingers or whatever. They want you to be on Palestine's side. Well, just to clarify, if I have to pick a side to be on during this latest conflict, I'm going to pick the innocent people that are having their lives either taken from them or destroyed. That means, like, the children, the elderly, you know, just the everyday people that are just trying to raise their children and live some kind of a life, you know. As far as I see it, as far as this Israel thing, what we have here are two sides, or which, you know, I kind of misspoke because I don't really think there's two sides. I think there's one side. But anyway, there's two factions opposed here. And both factions, namely the Jews, whoops, there went my walking stick, namely the Jews and the Muslims, right? Well, both groups deny Jesus. I'm sorry, because ultimately that's the side that I am on. I'm on Jesus' side, okay? And both sides, the Muslims denied Jesus was the Messiah, and the Jews denied Jesus was the Messiah. Okay? Now, at least the Muslims will say, well, he was a good prophet. They'll at least acknowledge him. But the Jews hate him, Christian. Hey, Christian, wake up. The Jews hate you. You're not allowed to be there, really. They teach their children to spit on you, Christian. They hate your Lord and Savior. Don't get caught up in it, man. And if you think this is all biblical prophecy, that, they made the state of Israel, let me ask you this. Why did they send Jews to Israel? Why did they send Jews to this land and call it Israel? Why is it called Israel? How come it's not called Judea? Because the only ones that were called Jews were the people from the tribe of Judah. That's where you get the word Jew. How come they didn't scour the earth for the other 11 tribes if they're going to call it Israel? I heard somebody say that the other day in a video. I'm like, wow, that's a good point. Huh. Are these God's chosen people over here? Well, that's what all the evangelical belly preachers say. You better look into this prophecy more. And you better learn why these preachers are preaching this stuff. I'm just saying, man, I don't buy into it. We get into all kinds of things. But don't let all this stuff, they took the babies out of the incubators. Oh, wait a minute, that was the Iraq War. They beheaded babies in this one. World War I, they were putting babies on bayonets. Come on. And another thing, if you think, you understand, man, Gaza is the most surveilled with the most high-tech surveillance systems border in the world. And Hamas came in. I heard they invaded, or they broke through the fence in 15 different places, and they were allowed to do what they wanted for 7 hours. And the IDF did nothing. One of the most sophisticated militaries in the world, if not the most sophisticated military in the world. Come on, man. Either it's an inside job or the IDF is the most incompetent military in the world. They couldn't shoot down a paraglider. That's Hamas's Air Force, paragliders, and they got an army of pickup trucks. Come on. Just saying, man. Just saying. There's people dying. There has to be people dying because you can't have a depopulation without people dying, see? That's part of it, too. I'm just saying, don't let this get you emotionally triggered, for lack of a better word. Look what it's doing around our country. Now we got all these demonstrations. The conservators are all upset because people are rooting for Palestine, i.e. the terrorists, blah, blah, blah. Well, it turns out Israel pretty much created Hamas and funded Hamas and brought Hamas up to go to be a counterbalance to the PLO. Meanwhile, Gaza is just an overcrowded open-air prison camp. Israel has been oppressing Palestine since day one, for 75 years or whatever. But that's all right. That's all right. I pray somehow they all get saved. I don't know. Come to the truth of the Messiah. But, you know, you got a bunch of Jesus deniers mad at each other, you're going to have death. You're going to have raping. You're going to have killing. You're going to have blood, man. You're going to have war. Would they be doing all this if they followed Jesus? No. Well, that's my 2 cents. What it's worth. Love y'all. Be safe. Because, you know, while everybody has their eyes east, you're sneaking in your south border, America. Hey, America. We're at war. Fentanyl is a weapon. Killed 120,000 people last year, according to their numbers. Probably more, I'd say. Where's that coming from? China? You know, maybe it's because China's paying the cartels cash and fentanyl to smuggle their young military-aged men across the border. Yeah, the Chinese are coming. I guess 160 countries or so are coming across our borders. And most of them are between 19 and 30 years old. They're alone. They don't have wife or children with them. And that's pretty much military age. My theory was all along that these are UN troops. I heard a story the other day. This Uber driver picked this migrant up, a migrant, you know. I like to call them invaders, but a migrant, picked a migrant up. And he showed him a bank card. Had a chip in it, number, well, it was, you know, his ID card. Has a picture on it, had a computer chip in it, a number. And he clearly admitted that he was with the UN. He's in the United Nations Army, man. And they're getting paid like $2,200 a month on that card, on a bank card. I could live $2,200 a month. Pretty good. I don't know, man. And they're here by the millions. We don't even know how many. We don't know where they are. And your government's letting it happen. We're at war. And we're being invaded. Okay? Let's talk plain. We're at war. We've been at war. And we're being invaded. As Americans, we are being invaded. Why? Because we are under God's judgment. Because we have forsook Him. I've heard it said that's why God give you a president that can't remember his name. Because America, you forgot God's name. Why wouldn't He judge us? We've been sitting around arguing whether we should kill an unborn baby all my life. I've heard this nonsense. Should we kill the unborn child? Should we extinguish that miracle of life, or shouldn't we? You kicked him out of your schools. Now look what's going on in your schools, America. They're hellholes. Worse than hellholes. They're teaching your children sodomy, God knows what else. It's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. Got your gun? Do you have your gun? Because they want you to have your gun. Because that way, you're going to shoot your neighbor for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and feed your child with. That's why they want you to have the gun. They want us killing each other. And that's what's going to happen. Look what's going on in the streets now, man. People are losing it. And you want to give them guns? Because it's a right? See how it works out. I think they're just going to let us go after each other. And they're going to send all these invaders in. They'll come out with blue helmets on and their own stinking weapons, and they're going to take the weapons. Whoever's left, they ain't going to have a weapon. I don't know. That's a possibility. That's why they're here, though. They're going to clean up. It's time to get with it. It's time to get with God. It's time to find Jesus, find the truth. I ain't talking about TV Jesus. I'm talking about Jesus of the Gospels. It's time to follow him. He's the only one that's going to save you. He's the only one that's going to save you through tribulation. And he's the only one that's going to save your soul from hell. Y'all be safe. Bye.